To
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Adam, also known as the Plant Power Coach, and today I'm joined by Tiffany. Tiffany, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Nice to be here.
Very, very nice to meet you too, and I truly appreciate your time. But my first sort of question is, where are you from exactly? I haven't asked you this before already.
I'm English, I'm British, but I grew up in the countryside, but living in London.
Okay, perfect. That's good. Whereabouts in the UK? I'm from Australia, so my geography in the UK is not that great.
West, Berkshire, Windsor. I'm very, from the posh area.
Yeah. Anyone that sees your videos automatically, my brain was like, she must be Spanish for sure.
I know, I know, I know. I get that a lot. And since I started to speak Spanish, like even my accent changed whoever I hang out with, so I can get on with everyone.
I'm definitely going to dive into that into the future. But obviously, like you have your own sort of community within Instagram. I assume your own community in person with what we're going to be talking about in a second too. But just for anyone who's perhaps from my channel, could you share a little bit about yourself and essentially how we got here today?
Yeah, of course. I'm a dancer. Mostly I do very different styles, musical theatre, Latin dance, a lot of salsa and bachata, if you've ever heard of that. So I teach in London, I run choreography teams. But alongside that, I'm super into health and fitness, and hence educating myself on certain things. So I transitioned from meat eater to vegetarian to vegan based upon education. So obviously I try to use my platform because I meet a lot of people. So I always come with my brand, with my vegan warrior, and I walk into the gym like, hey, I'm a vegan warrior, guys. So I'm very loud about that, and I'm happy to be the stereotypical,
Yeah,
they say a joke, you'll
I
know
don't
a
mind.
vegan when you talk to one because they'll tell you. And I'm like, hell yes, I'll tell you because I am proud.
Absolutely. And I'm definitely going to be diving into that sort of your forms of activism and stuff. If I could kind of summarize this particular channel or this YouTube channel, it's essentially revolves around three things. Number one is fitness, no particular order. Number two is sort of plant-based nutrition. So how to kind of incorporate healthy plant-based foods into your diet and live healthy and live a long life. And also the philosophical belief of veganism. So to kind of break those three things down a little bit further, starting with fitness. So I guess you're a professional dancer. Bachata is the like the number one thing that comes to mind when I see you. Why dancing? Why bachata?
No, I mean, I always danced when I was younger, but I kind of discovered this whole Latin vibe later on, which I just fell in love with, and I just fell very easily into it. I mean, if you come to London, like English people are the minority anyway, like we are so mixed cultures, and I just love the whole variety of it. So I basically live in Bar Salsa. So if you ever go there, guys, I will be there dancing around. But yeah, so obviously I love dancing, and for me, it's the best way to show a good inspirational role as a vegan because I can do everything. I can dance, I go to the gym, I have energy, I do all this stuff. So I try to be a positive influence, a happy, positive influence, because obviously it's hard being vegan sometimes because your heart is like breaking for that, and sometimes there's different ways that you want to cry about it or you want to be angry with everyone,
Mm.
but I try as much as I can to bring the positivity of the lifestyle of that. So yeah, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I dance, I love it. It's a big passion. With me, I have many passions. So I'm trying to dedicate time to each passion, which is difficult.
Mm.
But yeah, obviously dancing is amazing. Like it's an amazing skill, it's amazing hobby, it's healthy, it's fun, it's you meet a lot of people, and I meet vegan dancers as well, which is cool. So yeah, yeah, it's an amazing passion, and I recommend anyone that wants to learn. I'll see you at Bar Salsa.
Sounds like you kind of doing it because it also breaks a lot of stereotypes too. Um, Definitely want to kind of break down the bachata side of things. You mentioned also you have lots of energy as well. Like um, when I talk to people about veganism, they love to redirect it to diet, which I think is a straw man of kinds, which is like a false way of trying to divert the conversation. But obviously, from a plant-based side of things, if we talk about plant-based, there's many ways to do that. You could argue that you could eat junk food and be unhealthy. You could eat like extremely like raw fruit, like raw diet as well. Like that's the kind of extreme end. And then of course you have ways of calorie counting, counting your macronutrients. Not that there's any right or wrong way to do it as long as you are vegan in a sense. But what's your philosophy? Like what's your food look like at the moment?
Philosophy, well, I'm vegan for the animals, like
Yep.
obviously,
Yep.
like there is no question. When people come to ask me, what, like, but you could be in this and this is healthy. I was like, yeah, I could, but I don't want to cause harm.
Yep.
Like, you don't understand. You can talk to me. I eat junk food sometimes. I eat crisps. I
Yep.
eat cake. Like, I'm human. I eat healthy most of the time, but come on, I'm
Yeah.
human. I get home late from dancing. I'm hungry. There's a packet of chips and hummus, and I'm like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna like stop my life to be like this perfect person.
Yep.
Um, but I'm not causing harm. So that's
Yeah.
my philosophy. And environmental issues as well is a big one for me.
Yeah.
Um, wait, what was the other part of the question
Yeah. No, so that
you
kind
asked?
of answers that.
Oh, my
It's more
food.
about like,
What does
yeah.
my food look like? Oh yeah, no, it's healthy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
watch a
that,
lot of stuff. I educate myself, so as much as possible, it's healthy. Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like you eat intuitively. So it's just like when I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm not hungry, I don't eat. If I'm going out for a social event, I'll have the vegan pizza. I'll just make sure everything is vegan that I eat and try not to overcomplicate it. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I mean, I did spend a lot of time educating myself because I think you have to. Because someone says to me, but it's too difficult, I can't be vegan. I said, yeah,
Mm,
it is difficult at the beginning because you don't know. You have a plate of rice and meat. That's easy, of course.
yep.
But you need to think about these things. You need to think about it. But it's worth it. It's worth it. You
Yep.
spend a month watching YouTube videos, and that's it. You're set. You get your seeds, omega 3s. You get your nuts. It's just spend some time, like to not kill the planet and all the animals. You can spare some time. Like for me, it's that simple.
It's such a no-brainer, and I love your passion towards it as well. You've kind of answered my next point, which is towards veganism. You mentioned you're vegan for the animals, which is, in my opinion, and I'm sure your opinion, the only way and the only reason to be vegan. Um, you know, I guess I have a small understanding, but for the people watching, how long have you been vegan? And I guess what was the biggest influence for you?
Okay, so I went vegetarian before just because I was like, okay, because I had pet chickens at one point. Anyway, and obviously I had like a chicken in the oven and a chicken in the garden. I was hugging the chicken, and then I was like, shit, what am I doing? So that was like black and white. One day I was like, I have to stop this. So that happened. But obviously I didn't watch the videos about dairy and eggs, and so I didn't know. I was like, no, it's fine. I can eat dairy and eggs because that's fine. Like,
Yep.
I didn't know. And obviously, I feel like so upset that nobody told me. Like, I feel like, why didn't I know that? Because it's black and white.
Mm,
I watched the video about the eggs, about how they grind up the baby chicks, and I was like, cool. So that egg's off the table. Great. Watch the video about dairy. Okay, that's it. Like, for me, it was boom, done.
yep.
Like, there is no question. I don't want to
Mm,
kill innocent beings. So it's very black and white. So yeah, it was education, and that's what I would try to share, is education, because I think most I like to think that most people, if they are exposed to that same education, they would feel the same. Obviously some people don't, which is hard because I show people a video and I'm like, yeah, but watch this, and they're like, oh yeah, that's really sad, and then they're like, cool, I'm just gonna carry on eating my
yeah.
steak, and I'm like, did you just watch that video? Like what's going on in your head? Like for me it's just obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a massive disassociation and a psychology of the difference between dogs and cows and pigs and cats or whatever.
Mm,
Like there's a disassociation between the
yeah.
role,
The cognitive
yeah.
dissonance, it is really.
Yes.
They're just kind of, and it's a lot of to put simply, head buried in the sand. It's just like la 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 la. I don't want to know about it. Don't want to see it. Yeah, it's a little bit sad. It's very good to see. I have another question towards the end, which is going to be kind of bringing that topic back up as well. Um, the I'm very fortunate to have a kind of fairly good mix of men and women on this channel, and I promise this question is going to be relevant for the future. It's going to seem very, very personal, but stay with
Okay.
me. I'm not trying to in like intrude on your personal life. Are you in a relationship at the moment?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. So based off the fact I'm assuming at some point someone might come into your life. How would that person in your eyes have to be vegan? Yeah, that's the simplest version of it.
I mean, this is difficult. This
It
is
is.
very difficult
That's why we're here.
because I've yet to. I mean, I don't know what the percentages is. Maybe you've looked it up, but I feel like there's definitely maybe more female vegans. And I mean, dating is hard enough. Come on.
Yeah.
Um, so to find someone that is vegan and has the same ethics as me is very difficult. Obviously, I have been in relationships, many different ones. Some before I was vegan, and some since I was vegan. And from the beginning, obviously, I'm very clear on my standpoint. The least that I expect is that they understand, that they respect it, that they empathize with it, that they would back me up in a situation, because obviously we get a lot of stigma. So,
Mm.
uh, I mean, ideally, yes, I would love a vegan boyfriend. Do you know anyone? You can put like a guys, mention me in the comments, guys.
Yes, definitely.
Um,
I'll put a link to your Tinder profile to the description below, guys.
yeah, but obviously, like I also, yeah, would like a loving relationship. So it's very difficult. But ideally, yes, but I'm not gonna stay alone forever just to find a vegan boyfriend, because it's not happening. So yeah, what a
I,
sad
yeah.
story.
No, I totally respect that. I completely agree with you. I'm on the same sort of
Where
page as
guys,
you.
where are the tissues? Let's get the
Yes.
tissues, guys.
Okay, so just to kind of share a little bit about my experience, my partner, everyone thinks that she convinced me to go vegan when in fact I've been vegan far longer than she has. And
That's
it
crazy.
was quite easy because for her, she was vegetarian for the animals, quote unquote. And the only times that she would not be is in social situations, particularly with family, where you would essentially be forced into that position. And having that, being part of that relationship, regardless of my position, I was able to have the conversation of saying, what's more important to you? Respecting the opinion of your family members, which is
Yeah, yeah,
against your moral beliefs, or killing and contributing to an animal's suffering and death. And I think that
yeah.
I assume that was the kind of mental break, and it was quite difficult for her at the beginning. Family members kind of just being upset with her, whatever. And guess what? A few months down the line, mum's messaging, "Hey, I just discovered this thing called tofu. Have you heard of it? And by the way, I've heard it's really good for elderly people because obviously it can be quite elderly." And it's just like completely switched to the point where not only are they respectful, but being Polish dishes are a lot of, cabbage, there are a lot of
Mm.
potatoes. They're all vegan anyway. And it's just like, oh, how am I going to make this dish vegan? And it's like, Mum, chill out. It's already vegan. Just chill out. Um, so that's a very interesting thing. I am curious. I didn't even have this question lined up, but what's your cutoff point if you were to say, I've been in a relationship for this long, this person isn't showing no sign of being in line with my morals and ethics. What does that look like? How is it going to be a month? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be indefinite? It's
Yeah,
tough.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, previous relationships, for example, I like if we were together, we would eat vegetarian or vegan or something like that. And then if he was with his friends or whatever, then or he's at home cooking, that's fine. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the cutoff point is.
Yeah.
And maybe more and more, maybe I will be stricter in the future because I feel like there is more. education and there's more understanding. So there's not really an excuse anymore,
Yeah.
because obviously I've heard every excuse under the sun about their culture or this. And I was like, dude, my culture is like horrific. Like it's the same. Like all my family eat meat, da, da, da. But I'm just a total badass. Like I will not flex. Like I don't care who I upset. I
Yeah.
am not killing animals. But I get
Yeah.
so much stick from my family, from people like, but there's nothing they can say that will convince me to change or to eat something I don't want to eat, because I don't know, I'm just so grounded
Yeah.
in this. Like there's no question. But I know they get upset because it's their conscience and they don't understand. They're like, yeah, but I'm gonna eat. I can eat what I want because it makes me happy. I was like, cool, you're just more selfish than me. That's fine. Like no comment.
Yeah.
That they know, like they're upsetting themselves. I'm like, dude, it's your issue. I know who I am and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you can ask me anything about nutrition, about morals, about the planet. Ask me. Go ahead. I know my shit, so you can't say anything.
That's a very
But
interesting
yeah,
point.
you know,
Yeah. I mean, like I've been vegan previous relationships and dating as well. And when the topic of like veganism comes out, like it was just like, oh, I'm pretty hungry. Do you want to grab a bite? And I'll obviously have to look for a particular place to go. And then it's just like, oh, why are we going here? It's like, well, they've got v good vegan option. And it's like, oh, I didn't know you were vegan. And then I've had this one experience where they just like somehow turned into a nutritionist. And I was like, I'm not asking you to do anything.
standard.
I'm telling you what my morals and ethics are. And it was just like probably one of the worst dates I've ever been on. And it was, in my opinion, such a stereotypical role switch because most of the time, like you said, I don't think it takes any sort of scientist or data analysis to realize that there's more vegan women than vegan men. So yeah, so it was just like a huge thing for me. Like, but like, what's your position on men saying things like, "Well, meat makes me manly"?
I'll send them some scientific papers about like soya or something. I don't know. Like I always come with something I've read. That's the thing. When I first turned vegan, I watched all the videos. I was like Mrs. Angry, upset with the world. Like I couldn't cope. Someone would ask me a question, I would get upset about it. I remember having
Yeah,
arguments with my brother at the Indian restaurant. I went home crying all the way home because he was like saying I was stupid, I was ridiculous, or whatever. Like I don't know, many years
yeah,
ago. So I put my head in the books and I figured out the answer for everything. And because I'm looking for answers. Like, why is it like this for many different issues, not just these, like, I don't know, global issues. Because I want to know why this is happening and I want to know how we can improve our relationship with the planet and the animals. Because let's face it, we are not doing good this planet right now. There's many problems, and everyone is just concerned about um their own issue, their own little bubble, their own little world. Um, so yeah, it's
mm,
it's hard to understand why people don't have a greater connection with things that are more than them, like bigger than them. Because
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the original question was now. I
No,
just
that's
keep
I
going
think
off in a
I
tangent.
think you covered it. I do, but one thing that's kind of popped in my head, you're let's imagine for a second you're on Tinder and you see a profile and a guy's holding a fish that he's caught. What do you do?
I don't even know.
Just keep it simple. I think most even non-vegan women would probably do that. I don't. It's a very
I would
interesting
just,
thing.
yeah, if they put a picture of their steak somewhere, like I'm not really interested. Like I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, when you meet people, I try to have open conversations. And
Yeah.
at least if they're willing to say, if I say, like, I can't explain it as well, but you could watch this documentary. It's really interesting.
Mm,
And if they show willing at least to find an understanding, even if they don't decide to change, but at least they're open to watching something or understanding why I'm like this,
yeah.
because otherwise they're just gonna be the whole time she's crazy, because
Yeah.
that's what most people think.
Yep.
Like they have their way, so everyone else is crazy,
Yep.
and it's crowd mentality, and we are the minority. So yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
No,
if they're not open to listen or understand, like
there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to bachata, because I think this is still going to tie into some degree the veganism, the masculinity, the femininity, that sort of stuff with dancing. Like, what's your experience with like I've actually done a bachata class, and
That's
the
great.
best way
Yeah.
I can kind of explain it to anyone who's never heard of it, it's a very sexual dance essentially. And how does that tie like
Sensual, but yeah.
yeah, a bit of both. Yeah, let's go with column A, column B, a bit of both there. And
Yeah.
so, like, what's your experience with like, what we've spoken about with veganism, masculinity, being like with men, like having a boyfriend and potentially being a bachata instructor? Do you have you ever had any issues like with that where you've had a insecure boyfriend where they just been like, I don't like you dancing with other guys like this?
Um, yeah, but yes and no. But I mean, I'm very much in that world. So I'm dancing with people and I'm very professional and
Yep.
I'm doing it for my job. So it's not like I'm just going out dancing every night. I'm going to
Mm.
teach. And people that met me like doing that job, I'm doing this job. So you
Yep.
accept it or you don't. I can't change like
Yep.
for that. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's always bumps along the road. And obviously, I fell into dating a few Latino guys because, I met them along the way and they're like, Mommy, I have to eat my meat, whatever, it's my culture. So I have a lot of,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was I was
some
just curious
experience with
about
that.
that. Yeah, no, that's
But yeah, bachata, it comes from the Dominican Republic. It's a partner dance, and there are different styles, some with more footwork and some with more sensual moves, which is a lot of body movement. But essentially, it's a leading and following, the same as salsa.
mm,
So the guy is leading the moves for the lady, basically.
yes.
But
Yep.
yeah,
That
but
took me a
it's
while to get used to. Yeah.
yeah, but it's actually, I know it looks very sensual, sexual, whatever it looks like, but actually the etiquette is very nice because, for example, I go to a normal party and guys will drink a lot of alcohol and then they try to come behind you and dance with you because you look hot, whatever.
Mm.
I mean, all vegans are hot, so it's normal. Um, but with bachata and salsa, there's actually more of an etiquette because you learn the style, you learn the rules, and then you ask the lady to dance. You dance one song, and then you say thank you very much, and then that's it.
Mm.
So I know it has stigma about how it looks, but it's an art. So it's
Yes.
actually a healthier dance than going to a nightclub and grinding and shaking your booty on whoever, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
I could not agree more. And I want to say everything you've said, I agree with. I've been on that side. It's more of a question for people on the other side who may be considering bachata. But I really like that. I'm interested in this sort of we've spoken about it a little bit at the beginning, this sort of quote unquote activism in sorts because you're setting a good example, especially in the sort of dancing, professional dancing world. When it comes to veganism, what do you feel you do or you could do that is best for the cause? What do you think that you could do?
I mean, I can always do more, but it's a time, it's a case of my life and
Yep.
work and stuff. I mean, I started my vegan page for my cooking in lockdown
Yeah.
because I had time. After I started a vegan brand, which is Vegan Warrior.
Mm.
So I have fitness clothing. So obviously I go in the gym and I can do my like 5 pull-ups unassisted. With my vegan, it says Vegan Warrior on my top, and I'm there. And then somebody is like, "Hey, like that's impressive." I'm like, "Yeah, and I'm vegan, by the way." So just by the way. But
There
I
we go.
joke about it. I mean, I joke about it. If someone's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were vegan," I'm like, "Oh my God, I didn't tell you already." Like, shit, I failed. Like, what am I even doing? I need to tell everyone more often. So yeah, I think I'm obviously wearing my clothes and I'm trying to share as much as possible in all of my social platforms and talk
Yep.
to people. If there's a discussion that I can have with someone somewhere,
Mm.
I will have it. Like
Yeah.
if the subject gets brought up and they're open to it, then yeah. And I mean, obviously, I'm not a huge activist, but in my own way, I have a lot of people messaging me like, "Oh, Tiffany, I've switched to oat milk now. I'm not having dairy thanks to you because I saw that you shared this." And
Mm.
another person, like small things. But for me, it's my little way. to share it. And the more of us that do this, I think it's beneficial. But as I said a little bit earlier, it's doing it in a positive way.
Mm.
I do share sometimes sad things because I want people to know,
Yeah.
but I know that people can't handle it.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it balanced
And then
because
social media will start to block you a bit more, you know? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would share it all day long,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I know that people are not as strong as
Mm.
vegans, maybe. I mean,
That,
I don't know. Like, I don't want to be mean, but like, I put myself in situations because even if they're gonna hurt me, because I need to know that
mm.
information.
Yeah.
The same about the wars and stuff that is going on. I watch it because I need to know what's happening. I need to know what's happening in the world
Mm.
and who to trust and what I need to learn about to change. Um, so I watch it. I'm like, let's go, let's know
Yeah.
what's going on. But I know that people have been brought up differently or don't have that strength and can't see things.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, obviously, and then you try to appeal to them through animals. Oh, you have a pet dog. Okay, let's talk about the difference between your dog and a
Yep.
pig, shall we? Or environmentalists, I mean, there's like, yeah, I'm doing all this sustainability and I'm taking like shorter showers. I'm like, dude, like one hamburger is like a 3 months of showers. Like, can you
Yeah.
just see the math? The math. Like, I'm just trying to present logically.
Yeah.
I'm very expressive. I'm very theatrical. I can try to put across my story. But yeah, it depends if they're actually willing to listen.
Yeah, absolutely. I very much agree with you on that. And it like I guess like considering you like you said, you're surrounded by well, we're all surrounded by a society which is largely not vegan, right? We're a huge minority. How do you keep yourself accountable in staying vegan?
um, I don't know. Like it's just it's very easy for me. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. My moral compass is very straight. Like I don't know. I don't even have a question. It's very
yeah,
easy. And even I'm ready to argue about it with someone.
yeah. I
Like
think yeah, go on.
I don't know. Like I don't even know why. I just think I'm just like this is my character. I'm very stubborn. I'm very stubborn,
I
and I'll
think that
make a point of it.
that's definitely the right answer, I think, anyways. No, it's very easy. Like how to keep myself accountable. I put myself in the shoes of the victims. I put myself in their shoes. I wouldn't want that happening to me. So therefore, it sounds like we're in the same sort of position as that. Uh, I've got a couple more. I'm just
Okay.
wary of time as well because we've got a timer on this. Okay.
I
Do
know
you
I
have?
talk a lot. Sorry.
No, no, that's fine. That's fine. We'll keep the answers a little bit shorter just so we can get the
Okay.
all of them in. But do you have non-vegan friends or family? And if so, what do you think about them?
Yes, I do. A lot of my close friends are veggie, which is nice. Which is, when we're cooking together, and they very supportive. Like my female friends are very supportive. They'll always bake me like vegan cookies, and that yeah, they're amazing. My friends are really good. I have a lot of vegan friends, a lot of some not, but they all know. Like they're ready. They're like, where are we going for dinner? I'm like, well, we can go here, here, and here, or somewhere with
Yeah.
vegan options at least, and we talk about it. And yeah, friends are amazing. Family, I would say less so because they are more set in their ways. We have more. They're old school. Obviously, my mum thinks that I'm gonna die of malnutrition all the time. But she's also quite hilarious because like when we go to a restaurant, she's like, "And my daughter is vegan, so I'll have vegan today as well." Like she's hilarious. Like she tries to be with me. Um, but yeah. But I mean, I obviously I get judged. I think I'm like the black sheep of the family. I moved to London, started salsa dancing and Latin dancing and doing all this stuff and educating myself. So I'm different. Like they're living in the village with their traditions, and I'm living this modern lifestyle, which is yeah, it's
Hmm.
different. It's not what they expected. I'm not living in a house like in the countryside, settled down. I'm doing my thing, but I'm so 100% proud of myself. Like, I don't have any concerns. Like, I've told them why I'm doing it. And if they don't accept that, then
Mm.
I'm sorry, but they're the ones with the problem because all of my intentions are so pure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, obviously, I love my family,
Yep.
but I've had some judgmental comments about things along the way.
As
But yeah,
as it
yeah.
happens. Yeah, no, that happens within every family, and I think you should be proud of yourself, to be honest. I have a question, which is for some people very difficult, for others actually very easy. There's no real right or wrong answer here, but it does take some thinking. Um, are vegans better than non-vegans?
Yeah.
The shortest answer of the day. I love it. That's great. We can move on if you want. No, I'm just kidding. That's great. Yeah.
I
Anything
mean,
you want to add to that?
we're, I think I feel like we are more open to learning about things and trying to do things the right way. I think that we are less selfish people.
Mm,
So I think we have a better impact on our um environment, our planet. And it's not, I think there's a quote like how you do something is how you do everything. So it's not just veganism. Like, we try to do the best thing in every way.
mm.
It's not easy.
Yep.
I make mistakes. We make mistakes like all the time, but we're trying to do it the best way with the best intentions because I just think that we're so empathetic that we want to help everyone. We
Yep.
try. Obviously, you can't help everyone. It's crazy, but I mean, yeah, like we are pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, in one sentence, what would you say to yourself before you went vegan to help you make the change sooner?
Um, I don't. I just wish that I had the education earlier. I just wish somebody told me. I wish I was exposed to it because
Mm,
it wasn't a case of me not wanting to. I mean, probably much younger, I was very much, oh, but it's the food chain
yep.
because I was a teenager. Like, my
Yeah.
family told me this, and this is what society told us. So I wasn't exposed to the right people, the right information. And as much as social media is crazy sometimes, for these issues, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing.
Amazing.
Like,
But yeah, no,
yeah.
I love that, and I love your passion. I love everything about what you've said today. Where can people find you? Where's the best place to reach you besides Tinder or Bumble or wherever? Okay, sorry, I'll cut that
Um,
bit out.
I don't think I have Tinder. No,
Put
I
it
don't.
this way, where
Like,
would you want to send a hot vegan guy to?
okay, well, you can find me in Bar Salsa, but basically, I have a couple of different Instagrams. One is vegan breakfast at Tiffany's,
Yep.
like the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, but vegan breakfast at Tiffany's. And my dancing page is Tiffany Salsa Mermaid, just because I want to be a mermaid. And I have Vegan Warrior UK is my clothing brand for
Yep.
vegan clothes, which is sustainable recycled nylon.
Amazing. Everything you've just shared with me now, I'm going to put in the description for anyone watching the video. So please go check out Tiffany, especially if you're into dancing, especially if you're, yeah, into veganism and you want to kind of hear more about her story. Her like platform is great. I've seen all the sensual, sexual dancing. No, I'm kidding. I love it. I love it. It's great. Thank you so much, Tiffany. I'm gonna leave it
Oh,
there, but
thank you so much. I had a lovely time. It's really nice to meet
amazing.
like-minded people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to stop the recording there and then we're going to chat on the other side. Bye.
Cool, cool. Bye.